Okay. Hi everybody. Okay. I think we're still on time because I usually don't do it for I think 45 minutes. When is the time I should stop? Is it 40? Just keep going.
We're gonna keep giving up.
It's 2:25, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. So roughly 1 hour, not anymore. 50 minutes. That's fine. I don't need that much of time. Yeah, my name is Bernd Schiffer. I'm an Agile coach. And actually, I thought about quitting my job, like not being an Agile coach anymore, because sometimes it's hard. It's really, you say, oh, it's really hard sometimes. So, what I wanted to do is, I want to open a cinema. Understand? Ever thought about that? Like having your own cinema? It's like a very cool, like I want to tell you about that. It's a very cool cinema. It's not like the big ones, like Hoyts and how they're called, like where you are like with sticky floors and all that kind of stuff. So it's a nice one. It's a small one, yeah. Only like 20, 30 people max in one room. Yeah, I have several rooms, but yeah, they're all very nice. Like leather lounge seats, you know, like that, really cool. Like with those extendable leg rests coming up when you lean back, yeah, those things. So really cozy and I want to call it cozy cinema, CC, cozy. Okay, yeah. So and I want to have special movies. So not like Pacific Rim or something like the new blockbusters, like old ones, like cool movies, Matrix. I want to see Matrix all the time, all over again. Only part one, of course. Yeah. Okay. So, but something like that, you know. So really cool evergreens, or like the Godfather. I'm a big fan of the Godfather. Just part one. Yeah. You have to know part 2 and 3 just to get the whole story, but never mind. Just part 1 is enough. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. So, I want to have a waitress service. Like, I mean, leather lounge seats, and you don't have a waitress coming and asking you if you want to have something. I want to have a tiny break, like because I want to be waited, like served, and I drink a lot. So in the middle, like 3 hours Matrix, at like after 90 minutes, I need to go to the number 1. So and just a tiny break, okay? So but in that break, the waiter / waitress, he or she could come and ask if I want to have something else, yeah. So and actually serve me that. That would be nice. So yeah, smaller rooms. I always said that. So what do you think? Is that a good idea? Yeah, I don't know. Like it depends actually, because I'm a little bit uncertain, unsecure, or because I don't know if it will be successful. So, but once it is built, once I have everything in place, I really want to have feedback and I want to be better. I think I can come up with the money to actually build that kind of stuff. Yeah, but once I have it, I want immediately have feedback on a regular basis, actually, to know if I'm going in the right direction with the whole approach, right? And actually, I think of an exercise, and so a few days ago, no, not really, but I thought about doing a rating system, yeah, something like what hotels have, yeah. So like once the cinema is there, I could have a 5-star cinema. How cool is that? Yeah, like actually, but there is not such a thing like a rating system for cinemas alone. So maybe I just use this one. I mean, Amazon has a 5-star rating system, so why can't I have my own? Or the Apple App Store, yeah, so it has a 5-star rating system. But actually, I read about problems there. So I hope you're familiar with XKCD. So. This is one of the understandings of an online star rating system. Yeah. So if you have 5 stars, no one will trust you because it's just 1 or 2 reviews. Yeah, and they're fake always. Okay, never trust a 5-star thing. 4.5 roughly. That's excellent. Yeah. So and because they're always someone is always complaining. If you haven't pissed off at least one other person, you've done the wrong thing, right? You're not focused enough. So 4 stars is okay, the rest is crap. So, and that's kind of, well, I want a full range, but actually it's you have to know that, right? It's it's not very obvious. So the other thing with online, with ratings is this one. I'll give you a little bit of time to get it. Four stars. Ooh, hey, that's pretty awesome. No, wait, what is this? App did not warn me about tornado? What? Why not? That's only a 1 star. That's actually a 0-star app. That's crap. Yeah, that's very serious, the problem. But actually, it has a 4-star review system. So it's not really actionable. And besides just having a star, just having a number, well, here I have at least a little bit of comment there. But usually people, like most people, only give stars. They don't give you a comment on that star. So if I get a 1 star, I'm kind of lost because I don't know what I could improve. And if I have 5 stars, well, I'm happy, but I don't know what I did all right. Okay, so those are like only a few problems I saw with those rating systems, like the star-based rating system. And this is actually the book about NPS. I read it a while ago, and what he proposed is actually a very, very simple question. And what I want you to do right now is the following. Imagine you have been to at least one of my cinemas. I have a franchise, of course. So, no, seriously, you've been in that cinema I described, with the small rooms, with the leg rests, with the leather sofa, with the waiter, waitress. Yeah. So you saw an awesome movie, Matrix, Godfather, whatever. Yeah. So maybe Titanic for the ladies. Yeah. So okay. So I want you to answer 2 questions, please. And I want you to do that right now. Okay. Just a sec. On a 0 to 10 scale, how likely is it that you would recommend my cinema to a friend or colleague of yours? That's number 1. Just a sec. Number 2, and why is that? Why would you give me that? Number 1 is just the number between 0 and 10. Okay? And number 2 is a comment. Please give me a comment on that. You will find post-its there and pens, a lot of post-its, a lot of pens, and just put them up in this area. The door, the wall over there, just in that area. Could you do me the favor, please? Just a sec, there was a question.
How much does your cinema cost compared to other cinemas?
Imagine a price. Tell me if you were satisfied with it. By answering that one, okay? Just imagine you've been there, okay? Could you do that
And the
right
price
now?
was good.
I don't know.
Okay.
Your imagination. Maybe it was horrible. I want to know why, please. Once you're done, please put the pen back so that others can have the pen.
Oh, sorry. You can borrow it. I just want to get it back. Oh.
Sorry, are we giving it a score out of 10 or what?
0 to 10.
I didn't realize. Either one.
Yeah, double shot these days. What did you say? What did you say? Yeah.
Ponzi scheme. Like Ponzi scheme.
There's a tweet.
It's worth it, just.
Come on, do it.
Justin, give me one bad joke, Tony.
Oh, that's the bad joke. We're going to have magnets and Ponzi's.
Oh boy, I really have to work on that cinema, I think.
There you go.
Crab, too expensive. Number 1. 0, too expensive. 6, nice, but a bit pricey. I didn't say it was, did I? 6, great experience, but too expensive. Oh, here's an 8. Too hard to get a ticket, only 30 seats. Yeah, true. Long line. 8, very good but expensive. That's interesting, right? An 8, a 0. But yeah. Made a real event out of the night. And an 8. Cool. Did I get something more than an 8? Oh, a 9. Great waitress, very friendly. I knew I'd get you with the waitress. Okay. 10. It sounded interesting and neat, and check it out at least once. Okay, thank you. I didn't get it. 7. Because vodka and popcorn. Awesome. Nice. That's really good feedback. Thank you very much for that. So, Fred Reichelt, I hope I pronounce him correctly. He has a German-sounding name, so I really have a problem in pronouncing it in English. Like in German, we would say Fred. Fred Reichelt. Yeah, so that would be the German pronunciation. But he's an American. He's So no problem there. So on a scale of 0 to 10, they asked their employees, how likely is it you would recommend this company or this store or this product or this whatever as a place to work? Something like that. Okay? So that's the ultimate question you can ask. You can ask that for everything. Okay? So almost for everything. Whenever you have something, you're doing someone a favor, you could ask them for feedback in that form. You could ask for a product you're doing. You could ask for a service. You could ask for a session for NPS. Actually, this conference is asking you at the end of the day for feedback in form of an NPS. Okay? So the idea is that you get a number from 0 to 10 on a scale, from very unlikely that I will recommend you to very likely that I will recommend you. Okay? So far, so understandable. Okay? So 0 means very unlikely, 10 very likely. So, and here's a color code, and it's a little bit, I should have used stronger colors. This is green, this is yellow, and this is red. Okay? So, and the idea is that you have neutrals, and they're actually called also satisfied customers. So NPS, very important, does not ask for satisfaction. It's not a satisfaction survey. Okay? Because the satisfied people are only those between 7 and 8. Yeah? It makes sense later why it's called neutral. And for now, those are the satisfied people. Okay? These are the people I want to have. I want to delight my customers in the cinema. They should really have an experience. They should be my promoters. Promoters are very likely, of course, if they give a 10 or a 9, it's very likely that they will recommend that cinema. A promoter is actually someone, like you're sitting in a bus, you're riding a bus or a train, doesn't matter, you like public transport, you're sitting there and someone says, hey, have you heard about that cinema? You're like, what? Stranger, why are you talking to me? No, really, I'm so impressed by that cinema. It was so delightful. It was awesome. I'm still thinking about it, and it was weeks since I been there, but I have it in my mind. Ever had that? No? Okay. Never mind. But that's a delighted person. That's a delighted person. Someone who talks to you about a product or a service or some kind of experience without you asking him about it. Okay? That's a delighted person. That's my definition of a delighted person. And also friends. So, neutrals are people, if you ask them, they will say nice things about the product, the service, whatever. But only then. They won't do it on their own. because they're just satisfied. It's good for them. Yeah, it's not something very, very like life-changing, like delighting, like wow, cool. No, it's just no, I got what I expected. It's cool. Yeah, it's nice. I do it again. I will come back, but I won't talk about it unless it comes up. Okay, and then there are the detractors. Those are all the people who vote from a 0 to a 6. Those are 7 numbers they can vote on, compared to 2 for the satisfied and 2 for the promoters. The detractors are actually the worst people, the worst customers you can have. You don't want to have them. These people will talk uninvited about a bad service. They will complain about a bad service. You don't have to poke them. They will just come up with that. It's very sad. Okay? So those are the detractors. So the idea is that once you actually categorize those people, you actually group them. Like you do a group with all the detractors here. You do a group with all the non-detractors here, with the satisfied here, and with the promoters here. And actually, we can do that here right now. I mean, it's very easy when you do it like that. Like you have that's a 2. This is a positive one. I do here I want to do it the other way. 9 goes over here. Actually, what do I have the most? Detractors? I guess so, right? Because I'm too expensive, right? Okay, those are the detractors. Here are the neutrals, and here are the promoters. So actually, I can sort that. The 8 goes here, 10 is there, 7, 8, and so on. And that's actually what I. Is that a 1 or a 7?
I thought so, 7.
Was interesting? No, interrupted too often during the. It's a 7. It's a 7. 7. It's a 7. It's a 7. That. So, and the idea is, in doing that I actually want to have, I continue with that. This is my goal. So every time I see someone who is a detractor, I actually want him or her, this goes here, this is a 9. I'm so bad at multitasking. Really, I can't talk and in the same way. I can't categorize, I can't do that.
Would you like someone else to?
Yes, but not now.
Okay.
Not now, okay? In a sec. But you get the idea, okay? So you actually can go through those different categories and actually create those categories with the votes you have, okay? And then you have a bunch of, well, frownies, straight smileys, and yeah, real smileys. So you want to have less of these, and you actually can transform these to these, and you want to have less of these, and you can transform these to these. That's the goal. So far, understandable? Yeah? Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Okay. Why do I want to have loyal customers instead of just satisfied customers? Because that is what NPS is all about. I want to have those delighted people. They're very loyal. Have you ever had an Apple zealot? Yeah? Someone who's really into Apple and he's not talking to anyone with a PC or something? Like I could be offended because it's running on a PC, yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not that kind of delighted with Apple. Yeah, so but some of them are. Those are like really like fans, you know. So and these of like Spanish fans, yeah, not one of the worst. The English are much worse, but that's not the point. The point is they're totally into the club. They will promote their club all the time. Yeah. So, but why am I not just satisfied with the satisfied? Why is it? What do you think?
They don't promote you.
And why is that so important? Because they don't talk badly about me? Yeah, like they're nice. If I ask them, they're nice.
Because somebody who promotes you is going to get you new customers because people trust word of mouth more than anything else.
Yes, that's it. So the more sophisticated reason, like the recommendations, that generate the most value. That's what you actually basically said. Yeah. So and the thing behind that Reichelt found out in that paper, it was published in 2003 in the Harvard Business Review, is, well, it's not really complicated. You have, on that axis, you usually have the growth rate or the revenue or something like that. Yeah. So, and on this scale, you have the net promoter. So, and well, don't have a look at the numbers. They're not important at the moment. The thing is, here are the detractors, or more detractors, and here are more promoters. Okay? Same here. More promoters, more detractors, more promoters. So, and you see usually a corridor like that when you compare different companies. And this means there's a high correlation between the revenue and the amount of happy people, happy customers. And when I mean happy, I mean delighted. Yeah? Does it make sense? Yeah. So, and he did research, like Fred Reichelt did research on that and found that that is the strongest correlation one can come up with. It's not satisfaction; it's actually loyalty. So again, why loyal customers? Because loyal customers come back more often, buy additional products and services, refer their friends, provide valuable feedback, cost less to serve, and are less price sensitive. And he really explains in detail in the book why that is. Yeah, with a lot of numbers, and I don't want to give them to you because I think that's you trust me on that. So one thing I want to talk about is bad profits. And this is what detractors gives you. And so 2 examples for bad profits are: have you ever in Germany we have fitness studios like gyms, like public gyms. You have them here too. Yeah. So do you have 24 months contracts, like subscription services?
Yeah, they're horrible.
Do you know? Yeah. Why is that?
Because they lock you in, and then if you're not using it, you get no value out of it. You just resent them.
Right. And have you ever done that?
Yes.
Yes. And you're not alone. Over 90% of people who used a gym and had a 24-month contract got locked in at some point. There was no way they got out of that contract. And actually that is how the gyms are making their money. This is a fantastic example. Sorry?
By people not going.
By people not going, yes. If everyone were going, they couldn't handle all the crowds.
Exactly.
It's not possible. Yeah. They don't have enough space for that. Okay? Their whole business is built upon that. This is a perfect example of bad profits. It means bad profits means I extract value out of my customers. But the definition of every organization is to serve a customer, to give him value, to produce value for a customer. It's the total opposite. When you have detractors, you actually you drain energy and value out of your customers. That's what you do when you have bad profits. And this is a very, very bad example. Another bad example: roaming fees for mobiles. Yeah, I could kill Telstra for that. Yeah. So it's really unpleasant if you have something like that. And it's for most people. So I'm kind of a nerd. Like I have a high nerd score. You can make the test online. Yeah. So but I have a high nerd score. So I actually know what it means to call someone else, like with the roaming fees. So my mother, my father, they don't know that, or they didn't know that before they got the very, very high invoice. Yeah. So that's actually very bad. That's bad profits. Those companies are doing bad profits. Well, some say because they can. Actually, all the mobile companies, they pretty much can do whatever they want because they don't have much competitors. Yeah. So, but also the fitness gyms. Yeah. There are actually fitness gyms, like gyms, public gyms, who actually do different business models. Yeah. They are much more expensive, but you're not locked in, and they are striving at the moment. Yeah. So, okay, those are examples of bad profits. Bad profits comes from detractors. Also something Fred Reichelt found in his research. Okay? That's the idea. So don't have the detractors. So. Now, NPS stands for Net Promoter System. And it's actually very funny when I came to the honor to do that session here, because Ed wrote Net Promoter Score in the program. I think it's still in there, right? So, but I actually don't want to talk about the Net Promoter Score alone. I want to talk about the Net Promoter System. I come to that back later. One part of what I told you right now is the Net Promoter Score, and I actually I write it like that to make it clear it's not the system, it's the score alone we're talking about right now. So now we're talking about the Net Promoter Score. This is actually the formula, and I want you to actually work on that. Okay? But let me walk you through it. Okay? Just for those who are like older, not so familiar with the math in school. Okay? So yeah. Okay. I know it's a formula. So someone told me once, whenever he wrote a book or an article, when he puts in a formula, the number of readers cut in half at that point. So you really lose people when you do it. But you can't. I didn't find a way to actually talk about Net Promoter without using a formula. So sorry about that. Okay, but I tried to walk you through that. Okay, first. Count the promoters, the neutrals, and the detractors. That's one thing, okay? So that's pretty easy. That's a mathematical sign for numbers of, okay? So numbers of promoters, numbers of detractors, and here are the numbers of neutrals. You need those three numbers, okay? Once you've done that, subtract the promoters from the detractors. Subtract the other way around, right? Yeah. Damn it! See? Formula. So, other way around. Subtract the detractors from the promoters. Okay? Follow the formula. Okay? Divide the result by the number of all votes. Okay? So count all of the votes. Okay? And this result divided by that. Multiply the result with 100. This one, don't forget it. And then you got a number between minus 100 and plus 100. Does it make sense? Yeah? The nerd section says, yeah, sure, of course. And the others are like, yeah, maybe. That's interesting. Cool. I want you to calculate the NPS for the cinema. So first of all, you have to categorize. And I want you to do it however you want to do it. I want to have a number from you, from all of you. Can you do that? I don't know.
I will instantly.
Why do you bother timing it by 100?
Sorry, what?
Why, it's like between minus 100 and 100, so why negative 1 and 1?
So
it's just a system. I don't know why they came up with that.
Used to finish things in percent, and if you went between minus 1 and 1, nobody really knows what you're talking about.
But actually, the percentage is not part of the official MPS. I don't know why that is. Yeah.
So the detractors, 15, the neutrals are 16, and the promoters are 9.
And what's the total?
Pardon?
What's the total?
16 plus 14
Oh, sorry.
plus 9.
Yeah, whatever that adds up to.
I'm not in the
first lead. 15, 30, 40. 40, right?
What'd you say? 9, 16 and 15.
Yep. Promoters, 9. Neutrals, 16. Detractors, 15.
Minus 59,
So that's not a great score.
So what is
It's
it?
going to be
actually?
negative.
Minus 15. Anyone? Anything else? Minus 15? Yeah? Yeah? Good. Okay. Minus 15. Is that a good one?
should go back to coaching.
Should you don't know my coaching number, right? I don't know if that's a good one, but that's my NP score, my NPS, my score. Okay? Minus 15. And actually you can compare that score to other scores I might get. I might do another survey in like a week, yeah, or with another class, yeah, or with another description, and then I try it again, yeah, something like that. So, I don't know. Wrong computer. So, a lot of companies from the real world, and this is just a few, just to give you an example of who's actually doing something like that. So, they're like, I think it's not the standard, but it's one of the overall standards out there at the moment. So, and they are doing it, and what they actually do is they have like their companies, they serve those companies and provide them with the service of doing an NPS for them. And what they also do is they compare their services. So Apple compares his NPS against other competitors. Yeah. So, for example, Samsung, yeah, with the iPhone, stuff like that. Okay. So, and with that comparison, you actually can, well, determine where you are in the market. The idea is, the better the NPS, the better is your market share. But it totally depends upon the domain. So, for example, and that's very interesting, I didn't make that up, the insurance companies in Australia, every insurance company in Australia has a negative NPS.
So do the phone companies.
I think, but I don't know. Yeah? But for the, yeah, you know that? Yeah, not very surprising, but yeah, okay. So, Apple, for example, what do you think their NPS is?
40. It's got to be positive at least.
60, 40?
240.
2? Is that the Windows fans? No. 80.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's really, it's fabulous what they do. Maybe, I don't know. They're usually doing a lot of like protection against the NPS, because it's like when they say, oh, we got 80, yeah, well, everyone says, yeah, sure, right? Yeah. So, but if you do it with a neutral partner and they're actually providing the service for you, you can actually believe it, I think. Yeah. Never trust a number you haven't made up on your own. Yeah. That's the usual advice there. Amazon 76. Yeah. So very good. Yeah. So those are just a few examples. So you all know that, right? Please.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you know it. Yeah. Anyone here who doesn't know the Agile Manifesto? Okay. That is mean. I'm sorry about that. Okay, that's the Agile Manifesto. That's the most usual definition of what is Agile and what is not Agile. Okay, whenever you have a tool which is not in, let's say, which is not part of Scrum, which is not part of Extreme Programming, which is not part of Kanban, which is not part of anything which is considered to be Agile. If you come with such a tool, check it against those values. Hey, NPS is such a tool, so we can check it against these values, right? What I see is responding to change, because I do the NPS on a regular basis usually, and that means that I can actually follow my NPS and I can react on that. So I inspect my NPS, I can adapt to what is out there, yeah, and not only to the number but also to the comments. I'll show you later an example how I do that. Okay? So that's responding to change. Customer collaboration. The idea is actually not only to get to have numbers like this and to have an NPS, but actually to say the waiter spilled a drink in my lab. Oh dear. Oh, who was that? Oh, James, I'm totally sorry. Next one is on me. Okay. Next one, you're free to go to any cinema the next week. Yeah, one of mine, and you get free service there. Yeah, everything. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome, nice. That is not bribery. That is customer relation. Okay. Get the idea? Okay. The thing is, I get feedback and I can react on that, whatever that means. I want to have a happy customer. Now he might still be upset because of that, but he might forgive me, and I have a chance now to make it up to him next week. That's all I want to have, another chance. Okay? And if you think after that, hey, that was a better experience because I had a better waiter, I would do it myself just to have you that better experience, to actually turn you from a detractor to a promoter. Yeah? That's the way to go. Okay? So, customer collaboration, you really can have a deep connection with your customer based on NPS. Okay? So, working software? Don't know. So, individuals over interaction. Oh, yes. I give you an example later about where individuals really come into place. And interactions, they're like, if you don't interact with the people involved in an NPS, those who actually ask for an NPS, like for the feedback, and those who give that feedback, customer collaboration, then you're really doing something wrong here. Okay? So I think NPS is a very good tool in the Agile context, if you use it that way. There are downsides. What's the time? Okay. So those are two Agile methodologies. Do you know them? What is this? Awesome. What is this? Lean what? Lean startup. Yeah, it's not lean. Okay, lean startup. So the idea is, with both of those methodologies, products are involved. Okay. Here on a more, let's say, I don't want to say mature level, but at this point you already have a business model. At this point, with this methodology, you want to find your business model. Okay? So the degree of flexibility is much higher, and the need for adaptability is much higher. When you have a higher need for adaptability, you have a higher need for feedback. If you have a higher need for feedback, everything which gets you in contact with the customer, which gets you more feedback, is highly valuable to you. Okay? Therefore, NPS comes into place. You really can use NPS here on a very early level. Yeah? Just for example, have a very, very immature product increment and go on the street. Like, go to Southern Cross and ask strangers about, like, what do you think about that? Okay? Give them like a coffee for that every time they do something. Like, they help you for 5 minutes. So, and afterwards ask them for a number and ask them to write down on a sticky note. Ask them to write down, and why did you give me that number? And you will get awesome feedback. It's totally cheap. I mean, that's 10 coffee, right? It's really cheap. So you can do that here. Here you can do all kinds of stuff, because usually you already have an idea of what the product might be, and usually you have an idea that this will be successful. Usually. Okay? Like I said, usually you have here already established a business model. Now the only thing you have to do is implement it. Okay? The thing is, here you can build it into the process. Whenever you have a potentially shippable product increment, you can ask for an NPS for that. Whenever someone makes a transaction with your product, you can ask him or her to give you an NPS. If you have a large user base already established, then you don't do it with everyone, because it's kind of annoying, like after every click. And how do you think you would recommend this click to, yeah, something like that. So that doesn't work. But if you have a large customer base, so we're talking about thousands of users already, so then you can actually pick some users and ask them to give you an NPS on that. Think A/B testing, for example.
What if you're a department within a big organisation and your customers are other parts of your organisation?
Still, I don't see why that shouldn't work or shouldn't be able to do. What do you have in mind? Like, what obstacle?
Oh no, I think it sounds like a good idea, but I haven't seen people do that.
Okay, I'll show you an example in 2 slides. Yeah? I think that fits very well. Okay? That's my impression, at least. I want to give you examples.
Sorry,
Yeah.
If you're asking for feedback
Yes.
with every interaction,
Yes.
so are you asking for feedback on that interaction, or
Yes.
not on whether you'd recommend the whole business every time? Is that it's on that interaction?
So there are transactional feedbacks, and there are like so-called top-down feedbacks. The one is bottom-up; those are the transactional feedbacks, and the top-down feedback is usually like every 3 months or something like that. I ask you, are you satisfied with me?
Right.
With my product, whatever I have to offer. Yeah, maybe it's me.
But you said it's not about satisfaction; it's about whether I'd recommend it, right?
Yeah, right. But I can ask you that on a regular basis, right?
Yeah, but that's my question. Are you asking me the same? So let's say Starbucks. I don't go
Yes.
to Starbucks. I wouldn't recommend Starbucks. But if I happen to be with a group of people who are going to Starbucks, I'll go with them.
Yes.
And if they serve me perfectly and make a reasonable coffee,
Yes.
I still give them a 0. Like, depending on what question you ask me.
And it's always the same kind of question. How likely is it that you will recommend this service, this product, this company, this Starbucks locale to a friend or colleague of yours? And if you give me a 0, hey, we should have a talk about that, right? Like I want to make it a good experience for you. You can tell me that the coffee is crap, and then what can I change actually? What can I do? Okay. From a Starbucks point of view, that's good. So I've once Telstra. sorry, anyone here from Telstra? Too much. I tell it nicely, okay? So. So there was a time I was slightly unhappy about the time I waited for my internet connection. So I arrived here 8 months ago from Germany, and I was kind of lost. And the only contract option I had was like increase my 2 gigabyte volume, like the amount of data I can have with my mobile by another 2 gigs. And then by another 2, and then by another 2, and at 8 gigs, I think I had to stop. 8 gigs is nothing if you move countries, really. So, and I wanted to have a proper internet connection, and I got it 2 months later. That was too long, I thought. So, and they asked me nicely, and I really admire their positive spirit. So when I'm like, it's total crap, I can't really. So I think, how likely is it that you recommend? So, and I said 0. So because I knew that, like the MPS, and I knew someone, like that's a theory, should call me back. So 3 months later, the telephone rang. I switched my home internet to another provider already. I switched it back to Telstra because the other provider was even more. Don't get me started. 3 months later, someone asked me, "Oh, you had this experience in January. Do you know what I'm talking about?" I said, "No." "Yeah, but you rated it with a 0. I said, "Yeah, maybe." So we no communication at all because I didn't know. I knew there was something where I was really angry, but 3 months. That's not a connection. Yeah, so bad thing to do. So that's a bad example for like using the MPS. Okay. Did I say that nicely to the test? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
Just a brief question with
Yes.
the MPS survey.
Yes.
Is it valid to survey every customer, or do you say, well, these group of customers ended up in my customer base by mistake? They probably shouldn't be there because they're not correctly qualified. Like they're not the right people to be using my product. Because when you build a product, you don't build a product for everyone. You build it for a target audience.
Yes.
And so you might have people who are either in your old target or you missed your target. Or whatever.
And doesn't matter if you have a detractor. Doesn't matter how he came into your system, right?
Okay.
So and I've seen that. I've seen companies they actually made like a filter, and they filtered out those who might not be the right people, and they got a pretty good MPS, and they was like, ha, that's cool, right? I said, yeah, but what is with those? And the MPS dropped by 40%. So and they was like, yeah, but those are the wrong people. So what did you do actually to let them into your system, right?
Okay.
What about if you're
Yes.
if you're in business, then you might have some customers who buy 100 times more than other customers. Shouldn't you give them a higher weighting?
It depends on what basis you do that. You can do it on a customer basis. Usually you do it on a product basis or on a transactional basis. If you have a high revenue from one customer, you usually do a lot of transaction with him, so you get more data points from that customer. So it evens out in the end. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but you could do. I've never seen that. I think you could do some kind of like weighing. Like put them in different buckets and see if your high volume customers are actually has a worse NPS than the not so high volume customers. Yeah. Okay. Try to give you a few examples. This is a flip chart. I usually, when I do my trainings, my training classes, I usually use flip charts, and this is one of my flip charts. The last one actually I put up. So, how likely is it that you will recommend this training class to a friend or colleague? And the only thing I add to that is, given that you have a friend or colleague. Because always someone says, I can't give you a number because. It's sad, but that's my experience. So, that's the only thing I do that, okay? And then I ask, why? Why do you give me that number? That's it. And they write it down on Post-its. And it looks like that. So, and I give them 2 minutes. Like you didn't have 2 minutes, and your experience here was based on like a 2-minute description of my vision with the cinema, right? But if you have like a 2-day class and you ask them nicely, please can you spend 2 minutes of your time to give me feedback? They will do that, and they will write a lot. So, what I do with that is, I put that down in a sheet like that. So I say, this is the Net Promoter Score, and I have the score here. I actually order it, and there are other slides, not only 11 people in that class. But this is actually how I aggregate those numbers. And this is what I send to my customer, like my sponsor, the one who pays me, because not everyone in the classes pays me when I do it in-house, yeah, like for a company. So I talk with my customer. I have a feedback chat about this, and they're usually very interested. And usually I learn a lot about what I could improve next in my classes, and they learn a lot about how the class was perceived by their people, because usually they don't have that kind of feedback. Okay? They get a feedback like, yeah, it was okay, or not bad, yeah, something like that. But actually, like, this is really data they can work on. So what was it that they were delighted about? That's useful information for their company, for within their company. Okay? I also sent them something like this. Please don't read it. It's just, the idea is, this is the NPS explained, like an info sheet. You can look it up later on the slides. Okay? So which explains the NPS, because it's not so obvious, okay, with the formula and stuff. Yeah? So what I also do for me, and this is how this is one example how for my business I incorporate the NPS, and every business has to figure that out on their own. What I do is I have a sheet, training, and that was the Agile overview training class. So, and I have the number of scores, and the 4 things on the top are calculated automatically, and then I put them into a sheet. The name of the sponsor is I'm interested in that, and the customer too. And I have the score, and this was one class, this is another class, and there are more classes. Okay? So I actually aggregate them to have a bigger picture over time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? So I want to see, like, for example, over the last 12 months, what was my NPS overall? So those are my transactions with every participant in a class. There was a question?
Yeah, I have one question. So I have had my company try and do a Net Promoter Score on me in my training.
Yeah.
Didn't actually, so they haven't got it right. They give me an average rather than a Net Promoter Score. So I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
The question I have for you is, that was kind of imposed upon me without me having any opportunity to even be involved in knowing that this question was going to be started to be asked post-training. And I'm just wondering, is there anything that I should be thinking about in my training, or because of this Net Promoter Score, have you started to behave differently to get better scores? Have you started to fake it or act? Do you start to reduce the quality of your training so people will feel nicer?
So what I on a regular basis, what I do is I look through those comments. I talk to the customer, and like I said, I change for every training. I change something.
Yeah.
It might be only like something very subtle, yeah, some little things, but usually I do. So, and this is something I change. What I don't do is I don't do something differently. Like I don't. I had a colleague in my former company. I was in a consulting company, and my colleague actually he said to everyone before he got to the MPS, "Oh, you were so lucky. You were so great. It was so enjoyable with you, all of you. Thank you very much that you were here." And he did that for 5 minutes, and then he asked the question. Okay. What? Yeah, you know. So that's actually I don't game the metric, and don't have it for the corporate. Have it for yourself. That's very important, okay? Or have a neutral company doing those surveys. That's also good.
I'm not giving someone else doing the survey, personal development to the survey, and just give me the results.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be careful. I don't follow the score because I don't want to lose training value because I just want to make everyone feel nice.
But if they don't feel nice, do they get more value out of it?
Sometimes feel challenging. Feel better than feeling nice.
Maybe, but still, so my experience is if they challenge them too much, they won't recommend me.
Agreed.
And this correlates again with the NPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
And surely gaming it would backfire anyway.
Yes. Yes, it would definitely.
Whenever I go into a Telstra shop or have any interaction with anyone who's a Telstra now in person,
Yeah.
I find that they say to me, "You may be asked by Telstra to give me a score out of 10. Please make sure you give me a 9 or a 10." I've had that since the couple of times.
Seriously?
Yes, they do.
You got 30 seconds. I work at Telstra with their MPS stuff, and they know that. And so when they go and actually do stuff with the MPS scores, they survey you at 2 points. One after an interaction with someone, and the other is after the completion of a whole transaction. Right? And so what they do, what the management are doing at the moment, is they've basically thrown all the interaction stuff in the bin. Right? It's not in the bin, but it's used for personal coaching. So if somebody screws up in a call centre or something, they just coach them on the what you think, what you feel stuff, and then
Sure.
And then. But they really measure their organisational performance at the trend. And it's changing behaviour. It is changing behaviour.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
So here's the answer to what you came up with a second ago. We were having a single metric causes cheating. And this is actually cheating, right? That's a bad way of cheating, okay? Yeah. Not the bull. Okay? So please be aware of that. And please, when you leave the room, could you please give me feedback? On a 0 to 10 scale, how likely is it that you would recommend this session to a friend or colleague of yours? And why is that? I appreciate every little feedback. Please keep it separate from the cinema one. Thank you very much.